This week on Granite State Challenge, the Falcons of Bow High School take on the Patriots of Profile High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by Bangor Savings Bank, Safety Insurance, NEA New Hampshire, Aroma Joe's, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Granite State Challenge. We are making our way through round one of this year's tournament. 6 teams have already punched their ticket to round 2. One of these 2 teams is going to join them. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the team from Bow High School.
I'm Thomas. I'm a senior.
I'm Matthew. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Trevor. I'm a senior.
Hello, I'm Cole, and I'm also a senior.
The alternates are seniors Liam and Jack, and the coach is humanities teacher Michelle Lavaz, and they're the Falcons of Bow High School. And facing off against them this week are the Patriots of Profile High School.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Moses, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Isaac, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Raiden, and I'm a junior.
The alternates are Travis and Marcus, and the team is coached by school counselor Jill Brewer, and they're the team from Profile High School. So those are our teams this week, but we do have one more introduction for you. Of course, back with us again on the Ann Cam is our judge, Ann Belanger. All right, teams. Introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those signaling devices. We're going to play the game. As you know, we play in 4 rounds, and in round 1, we do 10-point toss-up questions. So, Bow and Profile, good luck. Here we go. First known as Girls Time, this group was made up of Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams. Matthew of Bow.
Destiny's Child.
Yes. In 1991, this man became the first president of Russia. Moses of Profile.
Boris Yeltsin.
Yes. Walter Dimer, an accountant for the Fleer Company in Philadelphia, invented this chewy and stretchy treat in 1928 while playing around with a recipe for a product called Blibber Blubber. The product he created really blew up. Thomas of Bow.
Gum.
We'll give you that as bubble gum. You got it. In her 1896 novel, An Old-Fashioned Girl, published a year after her novel Little Women, this author wrote, "Women have been called queens for a long time, but the kingdom given them isn't worth ruling." Maddie of Profile.
Alcott.
Yes. With a coastline of between 13 to 18 miles, the coastline of this state is the shortest. Trevor of Bow.
New Hampshire.
That's right. This Gothic cathedral in Paris was seriously damaged in a 2019 fire. It was repaired and reopened in 2024. Trevor of Bow.
Notre Dame de Paris.
Yes. This comet, which is visible to the naked eye from Earth every 72 to 80 years, last appeared in 1986 and will be visible from Earth again in 2061. Cole of Bow.
Haley's.
Yes. This swing dance, popular in the 1930s and 1940s, was developed in Harlem and is said to be named for the aviator Charles Lindbergh. Isaac of Profile.
Jazz?
Sorry, no. Bow? Thomas?
Lindbergh Shuffle.
No, it is known as the Lindy Hop. Close. This target sport comes in duck, 10, and candle varieties. Maddie of Profile.
Bowling.
That's right. All right, team, our next question is a civics question coming from New Hampshire's Kid Governor. On your monitors, take a look.
Hi, I'm Jade Adams, the 2025 New Hampshire's Kid Governor, and I have a civics question for you. The term for a Kid Governor is 1 year. How long is the term for a New Hampshire Governor?
Trevor of Bow.
2 years.
2 years is right. The next U.S. Census will be the 25th National Census. In what year will it take place? Trevor of Bow.
2030.
That's right. Don't get foiled by this question. This element has an atomic number of 13 and its symbol is Al. Isaac of Profile.
Aluminum.
Yes. This stock market index, which uses 30 widely traded companies on U.S. stock exchanges, was founded in 1885 and first calculated in 1886. Trevor of Bo.
S&P 500.
Sorry, no. Profile? It is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right, teams. Colonel Sanders was the marketing face of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Spell Colonel. Moses, a profile.
Collonel.
That is right. In 2004, this movie, the third in a trilogy based on the work of J.R.R. Tolkien, became the first fantasy film to win the Oscar for Best Picture. It also won all the other 10 categories it was nominated in, including Best Director for Peter Jackson. Moses, of profile?
Return of the King.
Yes. This author and illustrator created Busy Town, where Huckle Cat and Lowly Worm live. Thomas of Bo?
Smith.
Sorry, no. Profile? It is Richard Scarry. All right, teams, the next question is a picture question, so go ahead and take a look at your monitors. This species of swan, unlike the mute swan, is native to North America. It is also the heaviest living bird native to North America. Isaac of profile?
Albatross?
Sorry, no. Trevor of Bo.
The white swan.
It is the trumpeter swan. All right, country music and rockabilly singer Johnny Horton won a Grammy Award in 1960 for his song about this 1814 battle, which happened 2 weeks after the end of the War of 1812. Thomas of Bo?
Battle of New Orleans.
That's right. In 1972, this U.S. president pardoned Richard Nixon for any crimes he may have committed while president. Cole of Bo.
Ford.
Ford is right. This Baroque composer is perhaps best known for his The Art of the Fugue, The Well-Tempered Clavicle, and his Brandenburg concertos. Trevor of Bo.
Bach.
I need to know the full name.
Johann Sebastian Bach.
That is the right one. In 1967, Douglas Engelbart applied for a patent for this computer accessory, which was described as an XY position indicator for a display system. Isaac of profile.
Mouse.
It's the mouse. What is the smallest and poorest of the 13 districts of Panem in the Hunger Games? Trevor of Bo.
12.
District 12 is right. All right, teams, our next question is our Unitil Power question. It's a 20-point toss-up question coming on your monitors. Take a look.
This U.S. president used the quote, "knowledge is power," attributed to Francis Bacon in at least 4 letters he wrote about the establishment of the University of Virginia.
Thomas of Bo.
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson is right. Abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison named this woman, who helped at least 70 people to freedom over the course of 10 years, Moses. Maddie of profile.
Harriet Tubman.
That is right. Okay, we'll save that for round 4. And we got kind of a tight match going on here after round 1 with Bo out in the lead by a score of 130 to 80. All right, we're going to put a break in the action right now to get to know our players a little bit. And we're going to start with the team from Bo High School. Bo High School is, of course, located in Bo, and it serves the towns of both Bo and Dunbarton. We'll start down here on the end with Cole. So Cole, says here you do the school announcements for the school. So how did you get that gig?
So I personally went up to every person in the school and I asked them, do you think I would make a good school announcer? And most of them didn't respond, so I took that as a yes.
There you go. Yeah, because when in doubt, right? So can you share your school announcer voice with us? Can we hear a little bit?
Yeah. Good morning, Bo High School. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, next up we have Trevor. Trevor, you just answered a question about Johann Sebastian Bach.
yeah.
No surprise, you're a musician. Tell us.
Yep, I play the French horn. I've been playing since 6th grade. So.
Okay, so you're in school band.
Yep, I play in the school band.
Any other musical ensembles?
I play in the Army band. I played in a couple quintets, orchestras. Yeah.
Going to keep it up after high school?
Yeah, I hope to. Probably not major, but I'll play in an orchestra.
All right, there you go. You got to find some time for that hobby. All right. Speaking of hobbies, travel could be a hobby. Matthew, you got to go on a cool trip recently.
Just like
2 months ago. I went to Germany with my family. So
All right, what were you doing going to Germany?
mostly like touring like Berlin. Though we also went to Potsdam and we saw like a bunch of like landmarks and museums and took some tours and stuff.
A lot of historical sites and so forth. Excellent. You plan to go back? Would you
do,
go back?
Yeah, I'd love to go back.
All right, excellent. All right, lastly, we have Thomas, Captain Thomas. Granite State Challenge, not the only competition that you compete in, I guess. You're also a two-time league champion. What?
Fantasy football. I've been playing for 3 years and I've won the last 2.
Okay, so two-time champion. What's the secret to a good fantasy football team?
Draft only wide receivers the first couple rounds.
All right, I will try to follow that advice. And this is the team from Bow High School. All right, the team from Profile High School. Profile High School is in the town of Bethlehem, but it serves not just that town, but Easton, Franconia, Sugar Hill, and Landaff. And we're going to start down here on the end with Raiden, who is a helpful older brother, we'll say. What is it that your sister always asks you to do?
She always asks me to do her hair whenever she's in her phase and wants to cut her bangs or do something wild with her hair.
So your sister's personal hairdresser. How old is your sister?
She's 13.
Wow, okay. So that's a good brother. Does she do anything for you in return?
No, I'm just glad to have her around though.
Aw, what a good older brother for that. All right, joining Raiden is Isaac, is a competitor in cross country. So how far did you get this past season?
So I made it to the New England Cross Country Championship by qualifying at the Meet of Champs, which is all of divisions. I came top 25 with a PR of 16 minutes and 4 seconds.
Wow, that's really fast. And that's 5 kilometers
Yep.
for that? All right, how'd you do with the New Englands?
New England's, I didn't get as good of a time because there was so many faster people that were right in front of me,
So-
but it's
Best competition in New England, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for making it that far. Quite an accomplishment. All right, joining Isaac is Moses, also a runner, but not so competitive with Isaac. Who are you competitive with?
I'm competitive with another person on my team named Travis. He's sitting right over there.
All right, so Travis is one of the alternates. You met him earlier in the show. You'll see him in the 62nd round. Okay, so who's faster?
Well, he'd like to think he's a lot faster, but I think we're going to have a good toss-up this year, this track season.
Well, listen, nothing's going to motivate you more than that, right?
Definitely.
Each of you is going to push the other. Excellent. All right, rounding out the team is team captain Maddie. Been on the show before. All right, and you've taken up a liking to some art. Tell us about it.
I really like to draw and paint. I typically focus on like Greek mythology or classical subjects in my art.
Where did that interest come from, meaning the Greek and classical mythology?
5th grade, when I was introduced to Percy Jackson, it slowly became an obsession.
Gotcha, as it has for many a young person. So excellent. Well, keep up the art and take some art classes whenever you can. That is the team from Profile High School. All right, teams, we're going to pick right back up in the game with our 3 strikes and you're out round. So this is round 2, and in round 2, what we do is we go person by person down the line. Each team gets 10 questions, person by person, and we keep going until all 10 questions are asked or until 3 strikes and you're out. Each team has 3 passes, so if you don't know the answer, you can pass to the player next to you. Like I said, we go until 3 strikes are out. So we'll start with Bo. We'll do this alphabetically. Thomas, this is your question. English actor Jonathan Bailey, who played Fiyero in the movie Wicked, got his start in acting playing Gavroche when he was 8 in this production musical based on a novel by Victor Hugo.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It is Les Miserables. Matthew, Victor Hugo was also the author of this work about Quasimodo and Esmeralda.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Correct. Trevor, in the Disney animated film The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo is voiced by actor Tom Hulce, who played this composer in the 1984 film Amadeus.
Mozart.
Correct. Cole, this opera by Mozart is a Singspiel, a form of German opera that includes song and spoken word, and despite its name, is not really about an enchanted woodwind instrument.
The magical violin.
It is the magic flute. Thomas, This singer is an accomplished flautist and had a chance to play a crystal flute that belonged to James Madison.
Pass.
Lizzo?
Lizzo is right. Trevor, Jim Morrison, lead singer of this group, called himself the Lizard King.
Pass.
Pass.
Cole, pass. That's your last pass to Thomas.
Queen.
No, close. Jim Morrison was the lead singer of The Doors, and that is your third strike that ends the round. All right, Profile, we turn our attention to you. Same procedure. Maddie, we'll start with you. This is your question. In this card game played with 4 players, there are 13 tricks in every deal.
Pass.
Pass to Moses.
Bridge.
Bridge is right. Isaac, this duo sang about a bridge over troubled water in a 1970 song.
Pass. All Notes.
Sorry, it's Simon and Garfunkel. Maddie, back to you. Simón Bolívar was a Venezuelan military leader who led Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Panama, and Bolivia to freedom from this country.
Spain.
Correct. Moses, in this musical, Eliza Doolittle learns to enunciate properly by singing about how the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I don't know.
That was in My Fair Lady. Isaac, in the movie Lady and the Tramp, Lady and Tramp famously share a plate of this at an Italian restaurant.
Spaghetti.
Yes. Raiden, Bill Murray's first leading role, was in the 1979 film Meatballs. He would go on to star in Stripes, Ghostbusters, and this movie, where he relived the same day over and over again.
Groundhog Day.
Yes. Maddie, the groundhog is also known by this name that you might know from a rhyme about tossing timbers.
Puxatawny Phil.
Sorry, no, we were looking for Woodchuck, who would chuck wood, and that is the third strike that ends your round. All right, still a tight match, folks. We're going to roll right into round 3. I'd like to invite the alternates to come on up and join their team as we go into the 60-second round. In the 60-second round, each team gets 10 questions in a category. We'll give you 10 points for each correct response and a bonus of 10 points if you get them all correct. We'll start with the team trailing, which is Profile. And so, Maddie, you can talk to your team and decide between these 3 categories: animal attraction, banned books, and what's cooking.
I think either banned books or animal attraction.
Yeah, I agree.
Animal attraction.
Animal attraction.
Animal attraction it is. Okay, so the answers to all of the following will be words or phrases that include the name of an animal. So, Maddie, you could talk to your team. I will take your answer as the team answer. 60 seconds, start the clock. They are what you count on with, not the ordinal ones.
Ducks.
We were looking for cardinal numbers. This national park for the performing arts is located in Virginia.
Mammoth Caves.
Is Wolf Trap. The movie Dirty Dancing takes place in these mountains in New York.
Catskill.
Catskill.
Yes. The 1998 movie about Lydia and a pair of married ghosts.
Beetlejuice.
Yes. City in Russia that is home to the Kremlin.
Moscow.
Yes. Bright yellow flower that is considered a weed.
Dandelion.
Yes. Show where entrepreneurs try to get investors for their
Shark
product.
Tank.
Yes. This is what you do when you illegally cross the street.
Jaywalk.
Yes. This is what heavy snow and wind is called.
Hail.
It's blizzard. What you might ask for before you leave a restaurant.
A check.
You would ask for a check, yes, but you might also ask for a doggy bag. And at the end of your round on the ANCAM, 6 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, nice job, Profile. We turn our attention over to Bo. And Thomas, you have your team there. You get to decide from banned books or what's cooking.
What's cooking?
What's cooking? All right. So the answers to the following will include words for things you might use while cooking. All right. Again, Thomas, I'll take your answer as the team answer, but you could talk to your team. 60 seconds, start the clock. Percussive instrument, also known as a timpani.
Drum.
It's a kettle drum, square-shaped part of northern Texas.
Panhandle. Criminal.
Is Mac the knife? This is another name for cuddling.
Snuggling.
It is spooning. What you might face when two paths diverge.
Fork.
In the road.
Think about that, Judge. Theory about how movement in the lithosphere created changing landforms.
String theory.
Is plate tectonics, National Historic Landmark in Canterbury, New Hampshire.
Franklin Pierce House.
Is Shaker Village, small North American songbird named for a large kitchen appliance.
Fridge.
Is the oven bird, what you use to knock down 10 pins.
Bowling ball.
Yes, what you fence with.
Lance.
Sword.
A foil is what we were looking for. Tough category. And on the ANCAM, 3 out of 10. All right. Thank you, alternates. You can go ahead and grab your seats. Bo hanging on to their lead, but just narrowly as we go into round 4. In round 4, we continue with our toss-up questions, teams, but we're going to be doing 2 different things. We're going to double the point value to 20 points, and we will be deducting 20 points for incorrect responses. So a lot can change. Tight game, Bowen Profile. Good luck. Let's play. This philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician taught in Alexandria, Egypt. She was murdered by a mob in 415. Is Hypatia. Which amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government? Cole of Bo.
The 4th.
4th is right. Everyone knows that E equals MC squared. What does the C stand for in the formula? Isaac of Profile.
The speed of light.
That's right. Teams, what is the term used for when a government takes private property for public use? Cole of Bo.
Seizure.
Sorry, no. Profile. No talking. It is called Eminent Domain. On April 16th, 1967, this series went where no man had gone before and used the word hell for the first time on American TV in the episode City on the Edge of Forever. Star Trek is where no man had gone before. The highest point in Africa is this mountain, which sits between Tanzania and Kenya. Maddie of Profile.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes. You might want to pack your kilt and bagpipes and brush up on your Scottish burr for this annual event held in September at Loon Mountain. Raiden of Profile.
The Highland Games.
Highland Games is right. This singer-songwriter is known for songs like Superstition, Isn't She Lovely, and I Just Called to Say I Love You. Raiden of Profile.
Stevie Wonder.
Yes. If you are a speleologist, what do you study? Moses of Profile.
Caves.
Caves is right. This word, meaning cheaply or poorly made, is taken from the name of a glazed or coated patterned calico fabric developed in India in the 16th century. That word is chintzy. The drummer for this English rock band, Rick Allen, known as the Thunder God, lost his arm in 1985 after a car crash, but continued drumming for the band. Matthew of Bo.
AC/DC.
Sorry, no. Raiden of Profile.
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard is right. This planet's 2 moons are named Phobos and Deimos, which is appropriate as those are the names of the 2 twin sons of the god the planet is named for. Raiden of Profile.
Mars.
Yes. 4 states border Mexico. Name them. Moses of Profile.
California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas.
That is right. Englishman Harvey Kennedy is given credit for inventing these handy items with aglets in 1790. Maddie of Profile.
Shoelaces.
Yes, correct. Margaret Thatcher was the first female prime minister of Great Britain. Who was the second? More recently, it was Theresa May. In 1928, this institution established the Archive of American Folk Song to preserve traditional American music. The archive is now part of the institution's Folk Life Center and is now the Archive of American Folk Life. Is the Library of Congress. Teams, how many players from a team are allowed on a football pitch at one time? Raiden of Profile.
11.
That's right. This actor got his start playing a teenage doctor in the series Doogie Howser, MD. Cole of Bo.
The Good Doctor.
Sorry, no. We're looking for the actor Neil Patrick Harris. The jazz classic Take 5, composed by Paul Desmond and recorded by Dave Brubeck in 1959, was written in this time signature instead of the more common 4/4 time used in most jazz compositions. Cole of Bo.
2/4.
Sorry, no. Profile? It was written in 5/4 time. 4 U.S. presidents have been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Name 2 of them. Well, we won't have time to get to that answer, but with a strong round 4, Profile will be moving on by a score of 380 to 130. Great game, Profile. Congratulations on your win. We'll see you in round 2. And Bo, tough loss, but we're happy you came and we hope you had fun being here. We hope you had fun at home as well, and we do hope you join us next week when the teams from Bedford and Hopkinton face off. That'll do it for us this week on Granite State Challenge, and I learned something, and I hope you did as well. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by Bangor Savings Bank, Safety Insurance, NEA New Hampshire, Aroma Joe's, and viewers like you. Thank you.